ready to go live. I am so glad you are here. It is Wednesday. That means we're doing It Is Alive. So as you can see, I have this lovely Amber right here to discuss something fabulous in just a moment. And for those of you already in the know, I'll show off the card already. But first things first, what are we drinking? What are we wearing? Well, I steeped some hawthorn berries and I've added black tea and it's delicious. And what am I wearing? I'm wearing Chris Wilson's bracelets. Yes, that's that lady back there doing the fabulous painting of the fabulous trunk. You've seen her for a few weeks now. I've worn some of her pieces. I have worn an Entwined by Design piece. And I have some beautiful rings on from Tracy's Treasures and from Crystal Earth Jewelry. So all fabulous, all here. I promise this one goes with my outfit so nicely, but I promise I'll take it off so you can buy it if you want it. It's okay. I don't have to own it. It's all right. But here is what is coming up in the shop. Sunday, the 9th, so this coming August 9th, we've got our Gardnerian 101 class at 10. It goes from 10 to 11, and that really is it. We are closed. Got a knock. We'll let you in. Secret knocks allowed. 1 o'clock on Sunday the 9th, Tea and Tarot. That's one of our by donation classes. It's taught in rotation by 3 of our tarot readers. Always an interesting one. This one's going to be by Margaret. She's going to be doing the scary cards to read. So how do you read the Tower without, stomping all over that person's feelings? Or the Three of Swords or any of the other scary looking cards. 3 o'clock is story time. Come check it out. 4 o'clock, the neighborhood herb walk. We'll talk about the folklore and medicine of some of the herbs that grow right here in this area and how much you'd want to harvest, should you harvest, all of the basics for all of those things, and harvesting in a city, which is a big deal. Because I will tell you a secret. Some parks are parks because they're not safe to put houses on because you can't sleep there overnight, and you want to know what park.
Wow.
Yeah, and you want to know the land's history
before
you harvest from a park. Because I know there's at least one park in Minneapolis that is a park because of the stuff that was buried under it. 100 years ago.
Sure.
But you still can't put a house on it. You still shouldn't sleep there every night.
Sure.
So we'll talk. It'll be good. Tuesday, of course, last night, next Tuesday, Herb 1. We're getting close to the end. We're almost ready to wrap up. If you want to do the Herbal Studies program here, it should be starting up in September. It is always fun. There's details for that on the website. You can go to the events tab, which is, if you're seeing a QR code, you've got a QR code for the events tab today. On Saturday the 15th at 3 o'clock, probably Daryl's Practical Magic, another by donation class. He's been having a blast doing them. You guys seem to love it. So we're just going to keep rolling with them. Sunday the 16th, Reiki 1. If you're ready to start that Reiki journey, come join us. It's always a nice class. Usually a small group, which means it doesn't need to take 8 hours, which is nice. It's a shorter commitment if it's a smaller group, because in Reiki, the traditional Reiki, I still do those initiations one-on-one.
Oh, wow.
That's time consuming.
Yeah.
So a small group means a nicer, shorter little class. We
Great.
still have time to go over the basics. We still have time for the initiations. We still have time to practice on each other, which is really fun. 3 o'clock, of course, it's a Sunday. We got story time. Come by. If you got kids who want to sit for a story, we got you covered. Saturday, the 22nd, 3 o'clock, Adam's really popular by donation class, Magickal Astrology. And on Sunday, the 23rd at 10, again, we have that Gardnerianism 101. 12, when we open up, is the Reiki Share. 3 o'clock is story time, and 4 o'clock is Palmistry 101 with Eshu. I also want to remind you that we've got our big book event for Roger and Lee and their fabulous book, their new release. It's available here now. It is a magical working diary of sorts. It's an interesting look into the process and the impressions of everybody involved. I just realized I didn't turn my little light on. Oh no, you're seeing us in bad lighting. I am so sorry. I know you'll live, but there we are. And of course, on October 8th, Black Willow is going to be here performing live. $15 a ticket. Sign up when you can. We'll be doing that at 6. And over the end of these announcements, as always, where can I park? How do I park in this neighborhood? You can park on the street. You can shop for about an hour and a half, I think, if you're parked on the street, or 2 hours, or you can go park in the church parking lot, St. Clement's Catholic Church. It's a block south of us, half a block west of us. And I've spoken with them. I have talked to them. I've talked to their business manager. I've talked to the priest who runs the place. We are all welcome to park there.
Nice.
Yes, you will naturally park far away from the church because you want to park near us. Mm-hmm. And the churchgoers will park near the church because that's where they're going. Strangely enough, we're good. We can use the space jointly. It's a beautiful thing. And there's almost always parking available in it. Sometimes on Sundays, Mass gets very busy. And sometimes on particular high holy days for the Muslim center here, the parking lot gets full, but everything gets full. You're parking 3 blocks back and you're in a hike. And it's once or twice a year. It's not often, but it happens, just to warn you now. And finally, yes, readers, I bring the whole sign in just to remind me to do this, guys. Okay, so Sundays, if you want a woman's perspective on your tarot reading, that's the day to come. Margaret's here from 3 to 6. Who is here before 3, from noon to 3? Well, that's Eshu, of course, and he does tarot as well, and he's very good at it, and he does palmistry. So if you're interested in having your palm read, he's the guy. He's also here all day Sunday from noon to 6. I'm going to grab 2 leafy ones. But sometimes I've seen you do stones on these. Mm-hmm. I've all kinds of, whatever fancy takes you. She often brings us little fans for incense work, smudge work, that kind of thing. But this time she brought them as part of a complete set with an abalone shell, a smudge, a palo santo, and a stand. I love this stand.
Love it.
That's the one I brought in. It's a little bunny stand.
Bunnies.
The other one has a plain tripod stand, but it's bigger. It's nice too. But we've got 2 of these sets right now. They are fun. In addition to the boxes and the sets, we also have a variety of wands. These are basically driftwood wands that she has decorated up with various stones.
All of my driftwood comes from either Lake Superior or Leech Lake, which are sacred waters.
Yes. They're fabulously done.
Those are pretty,
aren't they?
Thank you.
She does wonderful, wonderful work. And pièce de résistance, of course, I'm wearing her bracelets. Yes, I do feel like Wonder Woman today. This fabulous necklace is one of hers. Let me do the Magick YouTube-y thing, an Instagram-y thing, so you can see it. What I like about this one is it has 2 lengths because the chains are doubled up for a shorter length, but you can do them as a single strand and double that portion. So you can increase the necklace by about 1.5 times the length it sits at right now. I think that's gorgeous and lovely. Gives you so many options. And I grabbed another one of her little necklaces. And she is the one and only, for our shop, maker of mirror magic pins and necklaces. Mm-hmm. And I always say the same thing when people ask me about mirror magic. This is the first spell you ever learned. And I know this, if you live in America, almost certainly it's the first spell you ever learned because you learned it in about 2nd grade. And it goes like this. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. So I love them because they're beautifully done. And you can get them either, this one happens to be a pin, but she does pins and necklaces, either like this where you're reflecting back whatever's coming at you. She also does ones that are intended to be worn the other way. So all the beautiful stuff is out here so that your own energy is reflected back at you so that you are protecting yourself from interference from others.
Both are very useful.
Yes. And sometimes this part where the mirror is partially covered depending on the piece of jewelry we're talking about. Or, yes, I am reflecting back, but I'm also keeping some of my own energy myself. So it's really nice work. Highly recommend her stuff. This was just one that was already in this room, which is why I grabbed it, but it's reclaimed jewelry that probably would have been tossed anyway.
Exactly.
So it's, you're reusing, upcycling, and getting a good magical use out of it. I think it's a win-win. But why are we here today? Well, we're here today to talk to Amber.
Hi. Hi, I'm Amber.
Beautiful Amber. And I'll show you the pretty side first. Look at the pretty side. We're here to talk about this play that's going to be part of the Fringe Festival here in the Twin Cities very soon, if you notice the dates on the postcard. I have a bunch of these here at the store, by the way. Amber, drop them off.
Yeah.
And I quick went, why didn't I ask her to come for an interview? He emailed you.
I'm here.
Charge you down, and here you are. So this is going to be at the U of M on the Rarig Thrust stage.
Mm-hmm.
Several people, by the way, have pointed out that just calling it the Rarig Stole Thrust is evocative.
I know, right? I actually, these postcards are made for the Fringe Festival, so usually I only put them out at the festival locations. So I realized like I didn't put an address on there or anything like that. So I hope you can find it.
And if you find you guys online, you will find all the information you need. But yeah, I'm going to tell you that Rarig is at the U of M. It's on the U of M campus. It's in the arts. It's in the Actors Building, basically. And they have a couple stages there. And actually, this is my favorite of the two for production.
There's 3 stages in there. Yeah, there's one in the basement, and then there's one up above this one too.
Because I've not seen the one in the basement. I did my time doing a theater class at the U.
Oh yeah,
sewing costumes.
Of course,
the lad time. You know, you do it if you take a theater class. Yeah,
right.
I don't even remember what it was. Probably the history of theater, knowing me.
Probably.
But this is a play, a confluence of magical arseholes, by you guys. I'm going to read what it says because I do find it amusing. The feckin' story and singy song of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. There be the famous supper club for some bored cunts and dilettantes, and this be that time W.B. Yeats kicked Aleister Crowley's arse. Which he did.
He did.
In all fairness, he absolutely did.
Yep.
And it stars you and an interesting crew of fascinating players.
Absolutely.
So tell me all about this fabulous play. Give me the spiel.
Well, first of all, I will tell you about our theater group, the Winding Sheet Outfit. We do memorial, what I call memorial theater. So it's all about, we usually choose someone interesting from history. They're usually a very spiritual person. We've done shows about the Fox sisters, about Elizabeth Bathory. Last year, we did one about Hilma of Clint, who was, recently discovered to be the first painter of she did spiritualist painting, and she kind of wrote art history, which is wild. So I really like find these characters that I find interesting, or stories that I find interesting, and we dig down deep, and then we make something that feels like that, or feels evocative, or is pretty. We usually do pretty shows. This year, not so much. This one is completely stupid, clownish. So basically what happened was our company is very female oriented. And I was like, I give myself a challenge for every show. And I was like, what happens if we do a boy show? What is in my head about boys? And when I love W.B. Yeats, and I had no idea he was part of Hermetic Order. I had no idea until I came across something and found out that he kicked Aleister Crowley's ass. And I was like, wait, the wiry little poet guy? And it was like, when I read more about it, it's just the stupidest thing. It's like they came in blaring, magical blaring, and then he just put his foot up and kicked him down the stairs. And I'm like, that is funny to me. It is the stupidest thing. And so I was like, can we make a show about that? And we did. It is irreverent. It is really stupid, and it's meant to be very stupid. All of my actors, because I'm the director and creator, we make these plays from scratch in 6 weeks.
Wow.
And it's a collaborative process. I'll bring them a bunch of information, and then they'll do some generative writing and improv, and then I compile it all into a script. And none of my actors know anything about any of this. I am pretty much the only magical person in the room. And so, for example, if you see the show, you're gonna see a ritual, and man, is it dumb. It's so dumb. It is meant to look like people who don't know what they're doing, kind of telling the story badly about the Hermetic Order. So what I did was I actually went into Mary Kay Greer's book, and I photocopied some descriptions of rituals and gave them out to people. And I said, go ahead and read them. When you're done, put them face down. And then what I want you to do is partner up and explain the ritual from memory.
Nice.
What you remember from that. and we made a big list of like, what are magical tools? What do you think about when you think about secret societies and magical things? And so it came from a very layperson's type of place. And then I would just, I made them just improvise the silliest thing that I could. I mean, one of the lines, they've got big swords, and I make them put their t-shirts on their heads for the hermetic wear. And one of them is like, "This is not about baked beans." It's just dumb. It's absolutely dumb. And we do focus a lot on Crowley's, especially one of Crowley's poems,
Okay.
Leah Sublime, which is littered with the C word. Littered, just made to be provocative. And man, do we hit it hard.
That's the one thing I've always said about Aleister Crowley is if he were alive today, he wouldn't be shocking.
No.
He was shocking for his times only. And a lot of the things that he did then, a lot of people think are normal today.
Yeah.
If you actually dive into what he did and his perspective on things.
Yeah.
So I do think he was perhaps a little ahead of his time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I love it only because I love that you guys are doing this only because, and I know I told you about this, there is a book out there, I think it's the new Aeon Matt, but I could be wrong, that gets some of the letters and correspondence of these guys. So the equivalent of their emails and texts back and forth to each other being just petty AF. It's mind boggling how juvenile some of the writing appears. Not the rituals. I'm not talking about just how they treated each other was, oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm not at all surprised to hear that you focused on the story of them being petty and small-minded, because I think they absolutely got to that level. I'm not saying they didn't hit heights. They absolutely got to that level too.
Yeah.
Now, if you are watching this and you're like, but I'm a member of the OTO, we do have OTO members in town, and as well as all across the country, I would encourage you to take this in the spirit in which it is being performed. It is tongue-in-cheek. It is irreverent intentionally, and hopefully have a sense of humor. But I would come check it out. I would totally come check it out because part of this is the way people who know nothing about what the OTO does respond when they hear random little snippets of information about the OTO. Which, let's face it, that's what people hear. Nobody hears the full picture. Even if they're given the full picture, they walk away with the 3 things that they remembered. And that's true for most of the spiritual paths here. So I think it's a good lesson in what people actually pick up and how their impressions get formed. So I know that we have a crew here at the shop, a bunch of staff and readers who are planning on seeing the Wednesday show. The Wednesday show is at 5:30. I have to close the store. I don't get to go, sadly. But I'm going to go on another night, and I am totally looking forward to it. I cannot wait. Myself and my 17-year-old are probably coming to this.
Oh boy!
So this is airing. This show is up 5 performances between August 6th, tomorrow, and August 16th. So if I want to get tickets, where do I go?
You go to minnesotafringe.org, and then you'll see all of the show images come up. There are over 100 shows in the festival over a 11-day period. And you'll look for this image. It's almost right at the top. A Confluence of Magickal Arseholes. You click on that and you'll be able to buy tickets for any of the performances. We actually have our 2nd and 3rd performances are Bring a Friend to Fringe, which means if you put at least 2 of those for the same performance in your cart and then put in the code BFF, you basically get a 2-for-1 deal.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. How much do the tickets run?
$25. 20 if you pay an extra $10 if you're going to the Fringe, pay an extra $10 for a button. It'll get you $5 off every show, including that one. And then, of course, you can use that button for discounts for food around the area.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I see. Thank you for all the hearts and love, by the way, out there. Appreciate it. So as you guys worked on this, you've got Crowley in there, you got Yates in there. Were there any other characters in particular that you guys featured?
Yes, absolutely. Everybody except myself plays a character that's kind of surrounding this. So I took a lot of inspiration from Mary Kay Greer's Women of the Golden Order book. So Mathers is a big one, Moena, and then of course Annie, and Florence Farr, and her is being played by a very broad actress, Heather Bunch, and she really pours into the vowels of everything. Of course, then Yeats needs his friendship group too, and his literary group. So we have at the pub, all of our musicians, our on-stage musicians, are playing Bram Stoker, George Bernard Shaw, and Arthur Machen, to kind of encourage him as well.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. So we're going to get a nice view of what you guys think these folks' egos were really like.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I do a lot of study on it, but yeah, my actors are fairly oblivious to the whole thing. So yeah.
So you're there to make sure it doesn't go too far afield.
I make no promises. It is really wild. It's basically it is my kind of love letter of kind of getting some of the ridiculousness out there, and really in this whole idea right now. I also work for the Minnesota Fringe, and our funding, these days for the arts is just
Nothing.
out the window. Yeah. So we also need, something to laugh at these days. We need the art we need right now are these good time stories. Yeah. And basically I had, I also, in all of my plays, there's an underpinning or a bigger issue going on. Like with Elizabeth Bathory, we tackled the issue of like fake news and like the damning of women's history and everything. This one's a little lighter, and it's very much about relationships. It's about friendship, and it's just about the coming together of some really magical personalities, including the actors themselves.
And that's actually one of the things I was thinking about when you started answering this particular question. Was part of the underlying theme of this, recognized or not, is got to be how to get along with people even after they kick your arse.
Yeah.
Because that did not destroy everything.
No.
They kept building.
Yeah. And we kind of ended at the Battle of Blythe Road, but I also play a narrator in the show. So I do talk a little bit about how it was a great secret society that allowed women at the time. And also this was a watershed moment for both of these personalities, and they went on to greatness. So,
That is very true. Very, very true. So you are the one who does the research. So I know you relied on Greer and the work with the women of the OTO. What other resources did you feel you draw from for this?
Man, I really should have made a list.
That's okay.
I read a couple of very highly recommended books about the order, and I had the Perturabo book, and I also went into some of their writings. So I read Florence's Egyptian Magick book, just trying to kind of get a feel of like what was going on at that time.
Yeah, what the interests were, even down to how they phrase things, I think can have an impact on how you present a character and even how you will interpret that character. I also think some of the other influences from that era are fascinating. I've pointed out several times that my parents did a terrible thing as good Catholics as a child. They gave me My Secret Garden to read. Oh. And that's a handbook on theosophy.
Yeah.
That's going to tell you nature wins.
Yeah.
So I think, and all the writers from that era and immediately before that era, such a profound influence on occultism, on religious thinking, on spiritual thinking, spirituality.
We cover none of that.
That's okay.
I mean, I say at the top, I'm just like, does anybody out there know anything about the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn? Great. And for the rest of you, you're going to learn nothing. It's just silliness.
It's this character look. Yes.
It's very much, it was also inspired. I very recently went to New York and saw Oh Mary on stage.
Oh, nice.
And Oh Mary, for those of you, it's coming here and you should see it. And it very much takes historical characters and puts them, they're not played it's melodramatic, and it's panto, and it's just wild and crazy and clownish. And I kind of took some
inspiration from that.
Yeah. And just like, we're going to blow these characters up. They're nothing like they really are. the gentleman who plays Crowley, he came back from Rhode Island. He had recently moved away, but he came back to play this role. And man, is he just it's just a boy show. So he's like wielding the swords, like, and like, yeah, it's silly. Expect silliness. That's all it is, wall to wall.
Tell me about the actor and the role for Yates as well.
Yates is being played by my friend Mark Bendel. He is a physical clown, not a circus clown, but a theatrical physical clown, like you would think of like Charlie Chaplin or something like that. So he is he's also very silly and very like nerdy. Everybody is costume and t-shirts that kind of evoke something. Like Bram Stoker is wearing like a Twilight t-shirt, and so it's very dumbed down, but also in that clowny nature. So Mark himself is a trained clown, and he has a really beautiful aspect to him of like he can do the gravitas, but he's always trying to make a bit out of something. And he and Dan who plays Mathers are really good friends in real life, so they play off each other. There's a moment where I have Mathers doing a sword dance in a kilt very badly, and the way they look at each other when it happens is just so stupid. It's so funny. It's the dumbest thing anyway. But there's Mark was often the first person to bring in some of the anachronisms.
Oh, nice.
We talk about like there's the part where Aleister Crowley is mucking up the temple. I mean, he's just like, give me a big belt. I want to be WrestleMania king. I have a mind that can beat Charles Xavier. It's just ridiculous. Like, as far as we can go.
I love that.
Yeah.
You've got Mathers in there. Tell me about Mathers and the actor who plays Mathers.
So Dan is he's an improv artist, and he works very a lot in the improv scene here. He's worked with us on another production, and he's always willing to come in and play. I asked him to play the character like a Rex Harrison, like he speaks through his songs, and is pretty pompous. And he spends most of his time in a plaid pants or kilt. He likes gold things. The golden thing is the big thing in the ceremony that they all pass back and forth. And it's basically a big golden heart that's sitting in a candelabra. It's very silly.
I love it. What are the other bigger characters you've got in this guy? Work?
We actually focused a lot on Annie. I didn't expect that. My friend Megan is playing Annie, and we kind of have this B plot going on. Now, some speculation in that Annie may have been maybe romantically interested in Lena. They were very close. In any case, they were very, very close. We do play that up a little bit, is that she's very much tied to Moina and hurt when Moina goes into the order, and she wants to find a purpose. And I felt for Annie that she wasn't as good of an artist as Moina, that she ended up like kind of funding their life and not getting a lot of payback for it. I mean, there was reading in Mary's book, it was heartbreaking to watch them like leave her behind, go to Paris, and they're like, but can you still fund our life? And then her family didn't really think highly of her doing these things, but then she ended up funding theater. And nice. She ended up kind of being the funding. It all comes together at the end that she kind of helped Yates and his cohorts and Florence Farr to fund the Abbey Theatre in Dublin, which is a huge theater. And so our audience will very much know what that is. So she found her purpose, not, because they kicked her out of the order at one point because she was a little bit, she had things to say about how it was being run, and Mathers and Moina were just like, bye. So she did find her place by funding theater and being a patron to the arts. Yeah.
Very good thing. So they all ultimately found positive
place.
roles and their place in the world, which is also nice to see, frankly.
Yeah.
Because it is a bunch of weirdos.
It is.
Figuring out how they fit in society at the heart of it all. So that you guys play it up, I think is going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to think, are there any other major characters we should talk about before we move on?
I mean, there's Maud. Maud Gone is played by my friend Boo. She is actually going to seminary, and so she doesn't have a lot of time. She's usually a big part of our shows, and she wasn't able to be there as much as I wanted her to. So she comes in for one very special scene. Maud was a activist. Really wanted to get she was an Irish nationalist, and Yeats loved her for most of his life, had no idea she had a child with someone else and had all these other affairs. He had proposed to her 4 times over his life, which you'll see in the show. And she always, she adored him, but always said no. And so she pops in at one point to kind of be, he feels the pull between his magical world, and that's what gives him, he kept going with his magical practice to fund his inspiration for his theater, but he also had this tie to Irish nationalism. So she is kind of that guiding star for him there.
Nice.
Yeah, and she comes in for a really beautiful scene.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Yeah.
Now, we've mentioned that this is part of the Fringe Festival, and that you, in addition to putting on this performance, you also work for the Fringe Festival, helping to put the whole thing on.
I do.
And we mentioned that if you go to the Fringe Festival's website, you can find tickets to lots of shows.
Yep.
So tell me about the Fringe Festival for people who are just not familiar with what it is, why it exists, what it promotes, all that jazz. Give me the fabulous pitch.
Great. The Minnesota Fringe Festival is an 11-day performing arts festival. It takes place in August, usually in the Cedar Riverside area. Yeah. So we have 3 on the U of M campus, actually 4 with the Barbara Barker Center. TRP, Southern, Mixed Blood, and then we have Open Eye Theater as part of it too. And there's also some independent productions happening at like Strike Theater and Phoenix Theater and CFPA, Center for Performing Arts, and BLB and the American School of Storytelling. And these are all 1-hour shows. They have to be 60 minutes or less with a half an hour in between, so you can run off to another venue and see another one. So basically, the Fringe Festival is not curated. You get in by lottery, which we hold in February, and then they have months and months to put this all together.
I love that.
And so anybody can be an artist. Like you could get up on stage and talk about Mega's book for an hour if you wanted to.
I don't think so.
but it's lovely, and we get all sorts of people. And all sorts of art. So anything you're into, dance, comedy, magic, like puppetry, that's all there. It's all representative. And this year, a 4th of our festival comes from outside of the metro area.
Oh, cool.
So we have an artist from Northfield, but we also have national artists from like DC and New York and LA. And we have a group that's coming in from Berlin and another that has immigrated here from Turkey.
Wow.
So some really great, and you're going to see all sorts of experience levels, all sorts of stories. I think we have 4 stories based solely on the Metro Surge this year.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff. And we have such a rich theater community here.
Yeah.
And I say, like, the Guthrie is our tree. It brings in national attention. It brings in money towards our community. We have the shrubs and bushes of like Chanhassen and Yellow Tree and all these lovely larger theaters. But then we have the undergrowth where a lot of stuff starts and it nourishes, and that's our Fringe. And I really encourage people to go and take a chance, see something new, and support people who are producing their own work and putting some wild stuff out there.
I think it can also introduce you to some of the local theater groups
that
will put on another production or 2 or 3 throughout the year.
Yeah.
But it might not be everybody's full-time gig. It might be that they are dedicated to this, but they, still work that 9 to 5. I can remember going to see one, and my son was into theater at the time, And so I would get as many autographs as I could on the playbill. And I did that with his school productions too.
Yeah, that's
just
cute.
to do that. And one of the wonderful performers works for PBS.
Wonderful.
She works in their charity division.
Amazing.
Their pledge drives. So you'll encounter lots of people here who are truly, truly lovers of the performing arts that have something to say, something to express, something to share with you. It's worth seeing multiple performances in my mind, if you can, especially with those fabulous deals.
Right?
Buy a button.
Right.
Get money off.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's all, and as you said, there are which performances
So
are
it's the first Sunday and the Wednesday performance are like BOGOs. Yep.
Okay. Nice. Buy one, get one.
Yep. And that's online only. You can't get that deal at the door, so you'd have to pre-buy it.
Pre-buy.
Yeah.
Got it. So I'm going to circle those so I know. But as I said, we've got staff. They're going to make an outing of it. So Wednesday night, you'll be some contingent of Megas Books in the audience, just so you know.
And I do want to point out, I don't know if it's Sunday. I think it's this Sunday. We also have an open caption machine on our on the stage. So if there are any deaf or hard of hearing folks out there, please get in touch with the Minnesota Fringe, because they will help you get tickets to that for you and a companion that may be driving you or bringing, and help seating so that you can see the open captioning machine. And if you have, I'm just going to put that out there. There is a link on our website for all of our accessible shows. We have open captioning, ASL shows, audio described shows, and those we also list all that are nonverbal. So if you have, if you're deaf or hard of hearing, you can go to those as well.
That's fantastic. Yeah. It made me think, okay, you've taken care of my deaf cousin, you've taken care, but I have an uncle who's legally blind. How easy would it be for him to get a seat up front? Because I can remember him taking me to the movies once in Manhattan, and we had to get a front row seat because he forgot his glasses. So we watched the movie like this. And it was fabulous. But is that something that can be easily accommodated?
I think so. If you show up early enough, our box office folks, and tell them our box office folks will make sure that you get a seat up front. Or you can also call our box office line or write to boxoffice@fringefestival.org and tell them, like, how do I make sure that this happens?
Yeah.
And they will make that happen for you. Yeah, they're really amazing.
I love that. And the theaters, a lot of the theaters you've mentioned, I've seen, they're fairly handicapped accessible, honestly. You're going to have a pretty easy time of it, no matter what you might need for accommodation to get in and out of the space, to function with all of it.
And they're our box office and front of house staff is fully trained on accessibility. But we don't, the Fringe managed venues anyway. I can't guarantee the independent productions, but we won't rent a venue if it isn't ADA accessible.
That's perfect. So you have no excuses now, guys. You got to go see the show. And check out another show or two while you're at it. It's 9 days. It starts tomorrow. So get in there. Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. It's Fringemas Eve. Happy Fringemas Eve, everyone. It's Fringemas Eve. Yeah, we're doing it. Actually, if you want to get a preview of 30 of the shows that are in tonight at the Rarig Thrust, where we'll be performing, we have a preview of we have 30 groups, actually 31, that's a secret, that will be doing 3-minute previews of their shows. And if you buy a button, you get in. So
that's so cool. So,
it's a lot of fun.
Get your tickets for the show today and buy a button when you do. And then you can get in. Buy buttons for all your friends. I think this sounds amazing. And what time is that special preview?
It's tonight at 7:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I could make that.
Yeah.
That's a thought. It'd be a rush to go home and get the kidling.
You could come in at any time though too. I mean,
I like this. Yeah. I like this plan.
There's a new act every 3 minutes.
I love it. Come check it out. Short attention span theater right there, folks.
Yep.
So come and check out the show. Get tickets for her show in particular, for Amber's show in particular. But check out Fringe Festival. It's always a blast. I love the productions I've seen, even when they seem very experimental and maybe not quite ready for prime time. They're still fun. And it's still about embracing theater and the arts as a community event. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for tuning in. You know how I feel about you. The rest of the staff too. We love you for being your amazing magical you. And of course, we appreciate the little magical things you can do right here in social media land. I know you know what they are. Click the little buttons. You can do it. It's always fun and costs you nothing. In the meantime, have a fantastic week and get fringy. Blessed be everybody.